Well, let's chat Nintendo. Let's do it. What better way to kick off the plant era than talking about some patents, huh? I think that really fits in with the accountant vibes that Jada said I brought to the show like 2 years ago. So let's get into it because there's some really good patents from this week that surfaced. First of which, that detailed the Joy-Con magnetically attaching to the wrist strap and to the Switch 2 itself. So this is what all the leaks said for years, and this is what the teaser trailer heavily suggested that it was going to do. And this patent details that. It also detailed the mouse functionality, which we're all very excited about, with images that show two Joy-Con being used as mice at the same time. So apparently this functionality may be baked into both the left and the right Joy-Con, or one like a mouse, the right one like a mouse, and the left one like a normal controller with the joystick and the left shoulder button. So that's really exciting stuff. I can't look at that and not think Kid Icarus Uprising. I can't see them using the control stick and the shoulder buttons and then the mouse to move the cursor and not think they have to bring that game back for this. And Seth, I want to go to you because you have not been on this show since Nintendo finally unveiled the Switch 2. The mouse functionality, what do you make of all this stuff?
Oh, I am very, very excited, which is a surprise to absolutely no one. But come on. Like when they revealed the Switch, we knew nothing of the Switch, and I knew I was going to love it. When they revealed the Wii U, we know how that turned out, but I still loved it anyway. So yeah, I'm really excited. Bigger screen, the magnetic clicking to the side rather than sliding down on rails. Just what we are seeing in the portable handheld gaming space right now for PCs is a pretty gigantic leap over what we already had with, the original Steam Deck. And of course, with that very sad old processor in the original Switch right now, I am really fired up for what this is going to mean for the Nintendo Switch 2. I want to know what the mouse is going to actually do. I think we're going to talk about it later, but I started playing Civ 7 last night. No surprise to anyone, that game would benefit very well from a mouse functionality. The only question I have is there's still a hole on the top. That have we found out what that hole is yet? Because I know the Nintendo Switch Reddit was all aflutter about about it.
Well, it's where you put your bendy straw. It's when you put your bendy straw in there so that you can.
It's like a Capri Sun.
It's like a Capri Sun. Yeah.
Oh hell yeah. It's full of Nintendo juice. Yes.
I'm not sure I know which port we're talking about because it has the headphone jack on the top and it has the USB-C port on the top. There's another hole that people are talking about?
There's another hole. I saw it on the subreddit that nobody knows what it could be for. And there's a lot of speculation. But I think Jada's right. I think it's the Capri Sun hole.
Yeah, that's where we're at in this Switch life cycle. We need more answers from Nintendo.
People were licking cartridges in the Switch era, so now they're just going to suck the juice out of their Switch 2.
Let's go.
Yeah. So that is the patent that talks about the mouse functionality, which is cool. I'm personally very excited because there is a patent that mentions an NFC reader in one of the Joy-Con, and that means Amiibo support. That means that we'll be able to continue to scan, if this is all true and actually ends up in the final hardware. This means that we'll be able to scan our Amiibo on the Joy-Con as usual, as we are able to on the Switch 1. So I don't necessarily think it means that Switch 2 is going to have Amiibo support in its software. I think that ship may have sailed. But at the very least, we've locked in, hopefully, backwards compatibility for all Amiibo supporting software from Switch 1, which is good news, especially since there's like 400 Amiibo on screen right now between all of our home offices. So yeah, I think that we're all very happy about that. And then this is the one we're probably going to talk about the most here. A patent surfaced this week. We have a news story up on IGN.com you can go read that suggests the Switch 2 can operate with gyro mechanics and rotate like a phone without the screen lock on. So essentially, this patent is saying that you can flip the Switch 2 upside down and the screen will rotate 180 degrees, just like your phone does, depending on which way you're choosing to watch a video. And it makes sense because if you're looking at the Joy-Con, those can snap onto either side since we're no longer dependent on the rail system from Nintendo Switch 1. And essentially, the patent just says that there is only one headphone jack on this thing. So if you want to listen to your in-ear headphones with it plugged into the top or the bottom, you can choose to do that. We also know there's a USB-C port on top and bottom, so it works no matter which way you're holding this thing. You'll have a USB-C port on the top and bottom of it. But Jada, this is just a really random thing for them to think about that I don't think any of us have ever considered really being a possibility on Switch.
I really love this idea of it just being so universal and just being able to swap it around. I think it also is going to allow Nintendo and their most creative minds that they have behind games with that make around based around mini games and such to have some really cool functionality potentially. I expect them to probably have a setting that locks it into place when you rotate it, so the screen doesn't rotate as well. But I just can only imagine what a WarioWare or a Rhythm Heaven or any of those crazy mini games, like maybe the next Mario Party does something with it rotating. I don't know. Maybe you put it on the table and you spin it like a spin the bottle type of thing. But
Ooh,
and then
Nintendo
it's where it
Smooch.
Wow. I don't know what all Nintendo has geared up for that functionality, but I'm very intrigued by it.
Yeah, there's going to be one or two random first-party things. You just shouted out great choices of what they could be. WarioWare, Rhythm Heaven, Mario Party, a 1-2 switch-like thing that use this.
Oh,
Nothing else.
boy.
Yeah, I know. 1, 2, 3 switch. It's coming. But there's going to be something that does it, and it's going to be really funny to see the one piece of software that actually makes use of this, rather than just it being a choice of which side that you play it on. I'm curious to see if this makes it up in the final build of this thing, because we saw in the Switch 2 reveal trailer that the inside rails for where the Joy-Con magnetically snap in are color-coded this time. There's a blue Joy-Con and like the orangish-red Joy-Con, and then the inside of those magnets on the console itself match those colors, indicating which one you snap it into. So if they do this, then that's kind of counterintuitive to the color coding that they already put into their console. What do you think, Seth?
Well, my biggest worry is, of course, the polarity. How's it going to work? They're going to shift the laws of physics to make them. I'm just joking, of course. Yeah, I don't. For me, I heard this patent that you could turn it like a phone, and immediately I thought, oh, they're going to give us like vertical games like you have with the what is the flip grip right now? But it's not that. It's just turning it upside down, and so I don't. It doesn't really excite me in any way.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you could turn it upside down, and apparently, now the color coding is going to be off, and it'll feel, weird. I will say that I do definitely appreciate this from the standpoint of somebody with kids. When literally the first day we got our Nintendo Switch, the kids accidentally put the Joy-Con in upside down. Because they just didn't know, or on the wrong side. So at the very least, it's going to prevent that nightmare scenario from happening, which was very scary. But thankfully, within the first day, somebody had already put out a YouTube video of how to pry it out with a butter knife. So that's all I can say is from a parenthood's perspective, no more having to worry about prying your Joy-Con off with a butter knife.